think his film is what really stood out. Explosive, made plays easy, separation. That was exciting to see. And then Seth and Coach Gilmore went in and just did the research and just tried to find out, does he fit us? Does he match who we are? And really enjoyed meeting him and his mom, and they came up on their official, and the accolades came back in a huge way, and thought that he will bring a ton to this program. So I'm excited about that one.
You guys addressed a lot of positions of need in this class. The one that you don't have yet would be running back. As you get toward the February signing day, how much time will you guys put into? Do you feel you need to have a running back in this class?
Yeah, I think Coach Seth grinds on it, man, and he's smart and he's on top of it, and he's working his butt off, and we all are in pushing to make that happen. And yet I think we got some good. I like our room, and I like the flexibility we have with the incoming class, and so I think we have some good options. But there's no question that'll be the emphasis in the last half of recruiting here.
You look at your offensive line class, a ton of talent coming in with a handful of guys. What kind of stands out about some of those guys that maybe you end up playing on the interior, like Ben and some of the other guys?
You want me to talk about each one of those guys?
I mean, just a handful if you could.
Okay, sure. I think I think all of them have the attributes that you love to find. They're really big. No, they're really athletic. They're great athletes for their size. Really smart kids. Incredible work ethic, and I think they have outstanding character around them. I think they're guys that want to develop, know how to get better, and will do those things. And Trey and Jack saw those guys early on and saw their development, and felt like they were pretty prototypical guys that you are really excited about having in your state and getting a part of things. And then Dylan Barrett was a young man who came up to camp and just did an awesome job in camp, really stood out. And so getting to kind of see his progression from camp to that junior year to, really, really helped me in evaluating him, and excited about him because of those characteristics. And then, Ben Barton came and did camp as a D lineman, and then came back and did camp as an O lineman, and you're like, okay, man, this guy loves ball. Yeah, come back to camp in 3 days. Sure, yeah, okay, coach. You know what I mean? And you love that about him, and I love his development, what he's been able to experience. I love he plays both sides of the ball and plays basketball and does all that. I think he's got a ton of upside, and I'm excited for him for all those reasons. And then Tanner Bordolini isn't far from that. Came to camp 2 years before. Really, he's a young kid, young birthday, and boy, you saw this great development as we went to see him in the spring, and playing hoops and doing everything at the school kind of fit all those same attributes that you hope to find. So yeah, I'm pumped about that group.
Sounds like Poldakovich will come in with tight end.
Yes.
He and Cam Large. What can you evaluate what you like about each of those guys coming in as tight ends?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Cole was the first one that we saw, and Cole just stood out. There were some good players at that school, so we were recruiting hard and got great evaluation, great communication through the coaching staff. And Cole just stood out as a basketball player, football player. He was kind of in between the two for a little bit, and I just think he fits that position extremely well. I like his ability to make plays on the ball, big physical guy at the point. So thought that was huge. And then Cam Large, here's this young man out of Massachusetts, comes up on a visit. Coach Turner does a great job of recruiting him, and he's got a lot of things going on, so you weren't really sure. And the reason why we always say like attracts like. He came here, got around the guys, and wanted to be part of what they're a part of, and I think he saw himself in them, and so really excited about those two and what they'll bring to that room.
Joe, Jack Cohn, how have you seen him evolve throughout this season for us?
I would say the biggest thing for Jack is I see him continuing to evolve because what's at his core, and I think that is it is a great demeanor. He is locked in, he is solid in his progression, doesn't get too high or too low regardless of any game. He just has a steadiness to him that I think he's really leaned on, and he's used that as a support for him to keep growing. And I really think we've all become accustomed to that type of approach in him, and gives us a lot of confidence in him.
When he took a year off and then does what he did this year, how impressive is it what he's been able to accomplish after taking a year off?
I'll be honest, I don't know if there's many kids anywhere that could do that. I think that's speaks to his character. I think it speaks to him as a person. He had a great mindset, and I think that's hard to do. I think it's hard in life not to get bitter or to get angry or to get upset and let all those factors affect your actions. And I think he did a great job of staying positive and taking everything as things he can learn from and grow from. And I think because of that approach, he hit the field and he was further ahead than you could imagine him being. And so to see the success he's had is I'm really happy for him.
It's not often you stay in state to find a wide receiver and offer scholarships.
Yeah.
Jim Ray is just one of those guys. What stands out about him, and why did you guys decide that this is the guy?
I'll be honest, everything stood out about Jim. I went there with Coach Herring. He loved him. He's saying, I want you to come see this guy. I'm pumped about him. And, man, by the time I walked out of the school hearing everyone talk about him, watching film, going through things, I'm like, shit, I love him too, man. Like, this kid was all a conference in 4 different sports. And, like, man, I'm like, I don't know if there's anything he can't do. So I'm excited. You know, he'll be in at the mid-year. I think that'll give him a great opportunity to impact this place. But whenever he does make the impact, he surely will. Really excited about him and his future here.
You guys list him as an athlete. Is he going to play wide receiver for you guys, or figuring it out still? Or?
Well, we hope he's an athlete, regardless of what position he plays.
Sure.
I'd probably be wide receiver, but I'm not sure. Like I said, we do have some flexibility in the group, which is awesome. That's what you want. We've had some great players that played. Owen Daniels was a QB, right? Like, he ended up being a pretty good tight end, and you know, you can go through it. People recruiting John Clay as a defensive end, and he's a pretty good running back. You know, like, so you never know. But the flexibility part's good. But that's what we're thinking.
So once it sunk in for Tyler, he really couldn't believe he won the running. What was your reaction when you found out that he won that award?
You know, I see the work that he puts in. I know what he got through all through the off season to be ready for this year. And there's a lot of guys that could take different approaches towards working through injury, through working through when you're not feeling your best. And man, to see him rewarded for at the end of really displaying all those attributes day in and day out is pretty cool. So I was happy for him big time.
Joe, a kid like Jack Nelson, to sign him and then also to see him enroll early, graduate early from high school, what does that show about him as a kid that he's so eager to get started here, that he's going to get here early?
I always say this, you know, like, kids are all different. I always think if there's a minute that they feel like they're going to miss what they're a part of and staying, then you should stay. And then there's some guys that just flat out know that they're ready to take the next step, and it needs to happen now. And Jack was one of those. And so I think it's awesome. I think it's great that he's getting here. I think he'll be locked in and excited during spring ball, and I think it was the right decision for him. And for those reasons, I'm excited for him to be here.
One kid question.
Yeah.
Oregon, you're going to be facing one of the better defenses in the country. What have you seen in your early review of their film?
Biggest thing that stands out to me is, you know, I think one, they do a great job with their multiplicity in their coverages and their fronts. They can create a lot of chaos for you and a lot of issues just through identification and schematics. Athletically, they're as good as anyone at getting off blocks and making tackles. I think that stands out, whether it be in the front seven or in the secondary. And then their ability to turn the ball over. You know, they've done a great job of forcing turnovers, especially with interceptions. So, you know, you could see why they're as ranked as they've had as much success as they have.
What do you remember about that last meeting with Oregon?
It's like a racetrack, friggin' back and forth, and this game's an awesome game, and to being part of that is huge. And I just remember doing everything to be at our best, and that's what you want to do this year. You want these guys to. Biggest thing is you let them know every last step of it is worth it, because what you're going to remember is how you play the game. That's what you're going to remember, and you want to play it great. And so that's why today's like today. This morning's an awesome morning. You know, like every step of the way, you want to use it to kind of get yourself ready to roll.
Why have you guys been such a good ball team?
I think Coach just takes a great. I think he takes a great direction, has a great plan with it. I think the kids really trust in that plan and the way he lays it out. I think that there's a constant communication here towards improving. You're not looking to maintain or be as good as you were in this game or that game. You're always just trying to get better, and that is a constant flow of what you got to be here. And I think that's helped us in the bowl games that we've played. Now, whether it helps us in this one or not, I don't know, because we haven't yet done all the work we need to do to be better or to make that jump. But that's why I think we've had success, and that's what we need to keep doing.